Hey, how's it going? And welcome to the channel. So a couple nights ago, I think I did a test with my phone. I recorded some video with my phone indoors. I had previously done like a vlogging test with it outside where there was plenty of light, and then I did a video test I think a couple nights ago, and I wanted to see how grainy the video would look inside where there's not as much light as like outside. And I tried it, with my regular lighting, my regular lights that I use for my camera here. And I also did it by shutting like the two panel lights off. I think I still had the light strip above here and the overhead light on. The video with these two panel lights off was really grainy. Anyway, I wanted to do a video test with my M50 Mark II and see with my current setup how grainy it would look in some various lower light conditions. So right now I have my two panel lights on, my overhead light strip, and the overhead room light over there. And then it's probably not all that much, but there is a little bit of light probably coming through the window from the street light out there. So now I have the panel lights turned off and I have the light strip turned off also. The overhead light is still on and the street light outside is still on, but there's a lot less ambient light around. And so I'm currently recording with my shutter speed at 1/60th of a second. Of course, the slower your shutter speed, the more ambient light you're going to be letting in, because the camera exposes the sensor to light for a longer period of time. I also have my Viltrox lens mounted on my camera, and it's set at f1.4, the widest it can go. So it's really nice to have like a wide aperture lens if you're going to be doing like low light photography or recording, because it lets in so much more light. Now, even with those two settings the way they are, I'm still at 1000 for ISO, and based on what I'm seeing from the display screen here, it doesn't look really noticeably grainy, but I have yet to see how it's going to look when I actually go back through and edit it, as far as how grainy it's going to look. But it's leaps and bounds ahead of how my phone was looking the other night. So that is one of the advantages of using an actual camera, especially with, this one is an APS-C size sensor, and a full frame should do even better in low light. But then again, this camera MSRP is like $700 or around there with the kit lens, and then a Viltrox f1.4 23mm lens is not quite $300. So for if around $1,000, you might be able to get a phone that does better in low light conditions also. So now I'm recording and I have the overhead light shut off too. So now there's most of the light in the scene is coming from that street light out there, and there's hardly any light coming from inside the room here. So I have the shutter speed turned to 1/8 of a second, and my ISO is maxed out at 12,800 to get even this good of exposure. And I can see that from the screen the video looks very noticeably grainy, and it probably also looks pretty weird right now with the shutter speed so slow. You kind of get that dreamlike, or like you're in a trance. Another thing I noticed is it seems in these low light situations the autofocus has been kind of less reliable. And back to the normal recording lights of the two panel lights, the overhead LED, the overhead light of the room, and the street light shining in. So that might help you get kind of an idea of as far as the low light performance and kind of indoors performance without panel lights and stuff that the M50 Mark II can do. It's not too bad. It's definitely an improvement over the phone. The video of the lower light, or the indoor performance of the smartphone, is still up if you want to watch it and kind of compare and decide if you want to shell out the money for say an actual camera, or if you want to just start with your phone. Anyway, I hope that helps. Thanks for watching, and bye.